So, hi everybody, my name is Tian. I am the music director of the Mount Holyoke Symphony Orchestra, and I'm really excited to have with me today our soloist for the week, Chen.
Hi everyone, my name is Chen. I'm so excited to be playing with the Mount Holyoke Symphony Orchestra this week.
So, can you tell us a little bit about the piece that you're playing today, and what are some of your feelings and thoughts about this awesome piece?
Yeah, we are playing the Tchaikovsky Piano Concerto No.1, and this is a grand piece that in the piano repertoire that everyone loves it. And this piece really, I feel, unifies all the students here. When we rehearsed yesterday, it's almost like feels like people are escaping from this real world, that we're entering this classical, romantic, grand scheme that we just enjoy so much every minute of it, and everyone was enjoying the rehearsal. We had a great time, and I can't wait for the concert.
It's true, this concert, the program on it, we have Han on Tchaikovsky Piano Concerto No.1 as the finale, but we also have Beethoven 5, which is such a kind of canonic classic, and we have the Overture to the Barber of Seville by Rossini, and we have the Concerto Aria Prize winner for this year, who is Brianna Torres on flute, playing Cordelli's Concerto for Flute and Orchestra. And in a way, none of those pieces necessarily explicitly have a program, and one of the beautiful things is that we've been able to just kind of lose ourselves in it and just kind of get lost in the music in a really beautiful way.
Sure.
I wonder, do you remember the first time you heard Tchaikovsky's first piano concerto?
Oh yes, definitely.
Oh really?
Yeah, it was Arbridge recording.
Oh really? It was Arbridge.
Yeah, but it's very funny because later I watched her documentary and she talked about it was actually her first time playing Tchaikovsky, but she was learning it for 2 months and stuff like that. But it's kind of crazy. She has this power to just draw you in. But I think it's the music itself. Tchaikovsky concerto. This really draws you in on the first hearing. It is a kind of experience you'll never forget. So I think everyone should come out and listen to this concert.
I don't know if this was one of the ones that was featured in like a cartoon at some point.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but to me, like, it was always like I used to say that, as a kid and a teenager, I was like, people were listening to heavy metal, and I was like, wow, I'm listening to heavy metal of a different kind.
Yes.
I'm listening to like Tchaikovsky, and if you're like sitting at a piano and you see the pianist go, wow, bam, bam, there was this like incredible power.
Definitely heavy metal.
Yeah, heavy metal, and you're like beating on these like incredible piano strings, and I always feel like there's like almost like a headbanging quality to it because of that too.
Yeah.
And you can certainly rock out to it, and I think we certainly see you doing that.
Yes,
Yeah.
I do that.
But it's also kind of interesting how talk to us about like the way it's written for the piano. Like how does Tchaikovsky show off the abilities of a pianist in this piece?
Tchaikovsky really wrote some difficult passages for this concerto, but interestingly, this music doesn't really flow that naturally, because when we look at the score, we understand that all the melodies were kind of connected motivically, but not thematically. So things jump around and tempo change all the time. Everything is connected, but not connected in a way. So it feels like you're always switching gears, as if you are showing different facets of the piano technique or orchestral technique, right? And when you put together, it actually, just because he writes such good melodies, it just makes you forget that everything is sort of fragmented in a way. But isn't life always like that? Life is fragmented, but all just flow together, and then that's the life, and that's the music of Tchaikovsky, and it's just so wonderful that he could do that,
I love that image because, of course, unbeknownst to you folks behind the camera, is that Han and I were just talking about life in general, and how in making this video, in order to get here, I've been interrupted like 5 different times just to get to the room at this time, and it kind of is a little bit like that concerto, isn't it?
Yes,
it's
it
like
is.
like you start with this like a horn call, bum 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 bum, and then like suddenly we are fully in a different universe with the piano.
Very different.
Starting something, and then you have this super romantic melody.
Yeah.
But then you also have these moments where, I really enjoy your playing, and one of the things that you do so well is just this kind of really fast, delicate, but really precise finger work. And you definitely see a lot of that in this piece.
Yes.
And if you're lucky, because here on campus you can actually kind of get up close and personal if you want to. You can get close. And also we're excited to be using this wonderful Bösendorfer for this, which has a certain kind of characteristic. And I know you haven't had too much time with the piano yet, but what were some of your initial impressions of the instrument here?
Well, the instrument living in this very grand former cathedral in
yes, this is Abbey Memorial Chapel here at Mount Holyoke.
It's so serene and just so grand in that venue, and this piano just jumps out at you, like so lively and so bright, but also because of the venue, it has this kind of depth to it. With all this together, I feel it's gonna be great for this Tchaikovsky concerto because it has this very, very delicate bright side of the finger work that keyboard can provide, but also has that deep romanticism that you need from that sort of vibrant sound. So I mean, it's a great piano. I can't wait to play on it.
Thank you. So thank you, everybody. I just wanted to, it's so awesome to have a good friend and such a fabulous artist on campus. And I thought it'd be nice for us just to say a few words and to say hi to everybody. So if you can, and you're in Western Massachusetts, do join us at Mount Holyoke College. This is April 18th at 7:30 p.m. in Abbey Memorial Chapel. See you.
See you.
Bye.